podcast, The Daily Show, where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland of Michigan. And Gil Murray, who owns the joint, might be the world's longest case of COVID. And I'm like, well, if you quit going to Vegas and gambling your ass off at your super spreader card tables, maybe you'd have a better shot. I'm totally busting his balls. That's what he does. He peddles hardware like the fucking Jewish guy on Deadwood and plays poker. All right. The show is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day. Lion's share of the audience get the show on the on-demand audio download. Thank you. And then a pocket of people with us live every morning on Twitch. Thank you. My dad is going to be joining us for Dear Meathead, and I did a horrible job of promoting that to get people to send questions for my dad. So horrible that we have none. Zero. Yeah, I know. I feel like an idiot about that. If you could send me a question for Dad, which I will ask him, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, for another edition of Baldwin Ace Hardware, Dear Meathead. All right. So that will happen in 54 minutes. Talked to him yesterday. Doing well. Said he went out. Did some shopping. I go, Christmas or grocery? He goes, grocery. When you're that age, people do stuff for you. Okay? You got to prepare yourself for this. If we are lucky enough to live to the ripe old age of approaching 89 in March. Wait a minute. Yes, 89 in March. I think. Shit. Now, yeah, it's definitely 89. Because he was born in 34. Then when something happens, like to the house, randos just show up and fix shit. My dad's sweet son-in-law, I guess, because it's his stepdaughter's husband. Technically, it's a step-son-in-law, but nobody wants to refer to it that way. That's the same reason why I always say my stepsisters/sisters. These people are closer to... My stepsisters are as close or closer to me than, like, my brothers. My actual blood brothers. And technically, out of all these people I've named, I only have one blood brother. Can you believe that? Out of all these names that I've said over the years, regular Mike, who currently hates my guts, Push-Up Paul, World Book Jim, Norman Bummer. Those are the 4 boys. 5 counting me. Only one is a blood brother, World Book Jim. Everyone else is, half this, half that. I've got stepsister Joe. Stepbrother Joe, stepbrother John, stepsister Janine. You rarely hear about these people. Those are Wally's kids. I got stepsister Sue, stepsister Elizabeth, stepsister Nikki. But I'm super close with my stepsisters. Not so much with Wally's kids. I mean, I see them and I love them. We share communication, and we oftentimes always hit it off fine and very well, and it's always been a great relationship. But I've known my stepsisters since I was like 8 years old. So we're super tight, and spent a lot of vacation time with them when I would go and visit my dad and stuff like that. So that's why. And I didn't gain Wally's kids as stepbrothers and a stepsister till I was like older. Hang on. Enough about my fucking family bush. I need to take a drink of this. And I wonder if my stepbrother Joe, who I think is my favorite, just a sweetheart, he's the guy who at the big house, Michigan Stadium, he's the guy that controls the video board. Like the big thing that everybody looks at when the replay plays, it's his job to control that. I'm like, what a gig. What a cool-ass job that is. Hang on, I think I went down the wrong pipe. Son of a bitch. The Great Food Giveaway. I have an update for you on the Great Food Giveaway. First of all, again, send me questions for Dad, Dear Meathead, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. You'd make me very, 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 very happy. All right. Let's see. I wrote it down, and I have it on a post, a Facebook post. Great Food Giveaway update. 1 week ago, we were $2,000 from our goal of $5,570. Now we are under $1,000 from our goal. And it's just been kind of trickling in a little bit here, a little bit there. Consistent. Not a staggering pace and not a ton of money. I didn't expect that. I expected it. That's why I started talking about this with plenty of lead-up time so that we're not scrambling. But I'm extremely proud at how this has gone. Of the need of $5,570, roughly, we have a amount raised of $4,574, roughly, give or take a few pennies, $995, rounding to the nearest whole number, till our goal. So under 1,000, that is exciting, and we have 8 days left to do it. Update to update, like 10 days ago, we had $1,105 to go. And we have, now it's $995. So you see, it's not like roaring in the amount of money. And the thing about that is we're still in the number of people who have thrown a few bucks into the hat for people that could use a Christmas meal. Only in the 60s or so. It is not a lot of people, and that is totally something. I know that this goal can be met quite quickly if, and people are giving 25, 50, 75. I'm not asking for that. I see how many people listen to this show. Every day it's thousands of people. So if you could, before the date, the drop dead date, that's a terrible way to describe it, of December 22, that's the Thursday before Christmas when the event goes down. I would like to have this done before that. Shuffle along 5 or 10. My way. I'm doing this through Venmo and PayPal. Venmo at Eric-ZEI TUNIAN. PayPal at Eric Zane Show. Of course, in the show notes for you, very easily, and right there on the Twitch live stream. Megan says, we're still waiting for a sponsor to take us up on the Triple Dog Dare. Yeah. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, threw $500 early into this fundraising. They want someone, they triple dog dare someone to try to freaking match it. All right. That would be cool. Any extra money, as you know, goes directly to Kids Food Basket. Great organization helping to feed people. Oh, that is so sweet. As I'm talking, Dr. Jim B. sends $20 and says, sorry, I can't send more. Being retired now, the wifey has me on a strict budget. No, you gave like 4 times the amount. He threw $20 just now to the Great Food Giveaway. Don't even sweat it. 5 or 10. It's the strength in our numbers. Because you won't even notice $5 or $10. Okay? You won't. All right. Thank you, folks. I'm excited. Cannot wait. We are just over 1 week away from the Great Food Giveaway. We're going to start boxing the food up Thursday at 2 p.m. at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. You know, I haven't even talked to Mike Ball. I just assumed he's going to be picking up the food in the trailer. I have a feeling that is going to happen. All right. Dear Meathead, 45 minutes away. Perfect time to discuss something going on. Here I am talking about underprivileged people getting a free meal. And I have this story. In beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan, we have a haven for people to live on the street. Now, I don't know. I mean, my God, that just sounds terrible, and nothing makes me feel worse than seeing people living on the street. But a lot of the folks that live on the street do it by choice. The idea of staying at one of the area shelters, for some reason, that doesn't line up with what the person wants. Now, if it's me, if I have a choice between 20 degrees outside, sleeping under a bridge on a hard surface, and the other option is indoors. It doesn't matter what the fuck is happening indoors. I'm going to choose indoors. And with that indoors, I get food, a place to sleep. You know, I don't understand. And I don't know if anybody can help me to understand. Now, I think part of the issue is people who stay in the shelters, and there's more than one in beautiful downtown Grand Rapids, and this could be in any city in the United States. There are rules that you have to abide by. You can't be drinking, you can't do drugs or anything like that. And so I think that might have something to do with it. But whatever. I haven't walked a step in their shoes. And for some reason, I'm still at a point in my life when I see someone standing on the side of the road holding a sign, I think it's a scam. All right. And if I'm going to do that, in some cases, it might be like I'm giving the person a loaded gun. Because if they take that money and then go around and get some type of narcotics or something like that, it could kill them. You know, you never know. So that's kind of like where my mind is. Now, add into the mix that there's been a lot of, I guess, relaxing and of rules since COVID and nothing's being enforced. There are rules in place for people that are on the street and panhandling, but no one enforces it. So you could be anywhere. And I'm not kidding you. They have there was a spot downtown where I live this summer where they have, I've talked about this. little kind of piping coming up with plug outlets. And there was a fucking kid, young guy, not kid, he's probably in his early 20s, with a television on a park bench, and he's got a sleeping bag and fucking video games. He's playing video games, and he's got his phone plugged in. He's a homeless dude. So he's basically underneath the tree. He's basically camping. Some folks set up tents right on the street, and it's terrible. There was the story about, because at a lot of these settings in this district where people, restaurants and shit like that and shops, of people having sex on the tables of where people would eat. Now, not like during business hours, but actually, though, on the table. So homeless sex juice could very well be spilling out onto the table of one of the restaurants. Word to the wise in downtown Grand Rapids. You might be, because I mean, God knows that they even cleaned the fucking thing. So the business owners have banded together and said, hey, is there any way we could maybe do something about this? There's all sorts of issues here. I don't know if it's a sense of entitlement or what, but I mean, we're merchants. This is our livelihood. We don't want this. So the city had a meeting about it, and they have decided, audio check, video check, that they will do nothing. And that's fucked up. There will be no new rules in place. There will be no policing of this. There will be no getting people. I don't know what the fuck you have to do right now, but I know what you shouldn't be allowed to do, and that is spill sex juice onto the table of the local pizza joint.
Safety and health for both the business community and Grand Rapids homeless population, or kicking someone while they're down.
Yeah. At this encampment underneath the bridge. It looks like a new bridge that was built. And some asshole wrote in spray paint, choices on the wall. Yeah, you made a choice. You chose to deface the fucking city property, the state property. Quit making everything. It wouldn't be so bad if everything didn't look like shit.
That's where the lines were drawn between business owners and others who claim the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce is trying to make homelessness a crime. The organization suggested a new set of ordinances aimed at dealing with the homeless population. News 8's Joe LaFurgey has details now on that debate.
My husband and I own...
It began last week with a letter to the City Commission from the Chamber of Commerce on the problems caused by the city's homeless population, and businesses showing up at last week's commission meeting describing some of the challenges they face.
Gunshots, street fights, constant stolen tip jars, being threatened, yelled at, sworn at, and many other things.
The Chamber asking for new rules, like not letting anyone sit or sleep in certain public spaces when they're
or take a shit in the street, or have sex on a table.
There's room at local shelters, setting zones where panhandling can happen, along with cracking down on aggressive panhandling. A host of business and healthcare leaders, even homeless advocates who signed on to the Chamber's letter to the Commission, say it's a matter of public health and safety for all.
Look at it appears that the photographer from the TV station who was getting footage to show what it's like out on the street got a close-up of a razor with chunks of hair in it, and I don't know what this is, maybe shave cream, and this, I don't know, it looks like a fucking condom or maybe a wet wipe to wipe someone's ass with, laying right in whatever this is, a fucking flower bed. Yeah, that's great.
All involved, but critics claim the Chamber's suggestions amount to criminalizing homelessness, including members of the Grand Rapids City Commission's Public Safety Committee.
We have not seen the kind of necessary investments in this segment of our community from the city of Grand Rapids, and that's a failure on our part. And to take then and move towards even considering ordinances that would further penalize those community members, I think is an outrage.
I didn't hear a word he said because of the amount of vocal fry on that guy.
City officials say there are
I'm actually going to listen to that again because I think he had something pertinent to the story.
Books to deal with
necessary investment.
Rapids City Commission, but critics claim the chamber's suggestions amount to criminalizing homelessness, including members of the Grand Rapids City Commission's Public Safety Committee.
Okay, so this guy's on the commission, Mr. Vocal Fry here. He is talking about, oh, no, we cannot criminalize the behavior of the homeless population. The fuck we can't.
We have not seen the kind of necessary investments in this segment of our community from the city of Grand Rapids, and that's a failure on our part. And to take then and move towards even considering ordinances that would further penalize those community members, I think is an outrage.
City officials say there are already several rules on the books to deal with many of those issues, but they admit they eased up on
a pile of clothes on the street. Basically, a flower bed is some guy's closet.
On enforcing them during the pandemic to reduce COVID exposure, and more recently, police staffing has led to delayed responses to those complaints. Mayor Rosalind Bliss says there are other ways to address the issues.
What are we currently doing to support individuals who are unhoused? How we're connecting with other resources? Where are the gaps that currently exist?
Yeah, quit identifying shit, and can someone and then wait till the next meeting. You know, I mean, can you give me some solutions? Give me something tangible that we can, an idea.
What is our current response to both crime and complaints citywide, not just downtown?
Chamber officials agree those other things need to happen as well. They say they don't consider the decision not to adopt the new ordinances a loss. They do say they accomplished another goal, to get people talking about the issue.
It's caused a great conversation. I think we're ready to stand with them in partnership to continue to address these issues.
In Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.
Okay, it all sounds like bullshit to me. Nothing gets done. They basically, oh yeah, we got to go and have a conversation. We've got to think. We've got to identify the problem and have a conversation and think about what is at stake. Josh writes, the whole story could have been summed up with local government hoping for snowstorm with enough accumulation to cover up the homeless. Nick says the problem is all the other cities ship the homeless to Grand Rapids. Nick says, DJ Nick says it's the best when a hobo leans up against a building and takes a dump in his pants and shakes his leg to let it all roll out into traffic. Really? Maureen says, was it ugly sweater night at that meeting? All right. I can promise you that all of those people, those civic leaders, those city leaders, they would love nothing more than to rent a few buses and trick those people onto the bus, lock the door, and then drive across the United States, open the door, and at gunpoint, make them all get out. And that's exactly what they want to do, what they wish they could do. They won't do that. So I don't know. Fuck. But I know that the whole idea of camping out on the street, taking a dump on the sidewalk, sex on the table, in front of actual businesses where people pour their livelihood and sweat equity to try to make it, and then the homeless guy taking a shit on the sidewalk is driving customers away. I would say that is something that cannot be dealt with. So these people need to be gone. All right? There should be a city ordinance where there is like a zone where you can, I don't give a fuck, set up a park and make an encampment. I don't care. Do anything. But these homeless people like to be where the people are so that they can panhandle. Fucking A, man. I'm sorry. I have no idea. No, I kind of do have an idea. That's what I would want. Man. Fucking A. Dear Meathead, in 30 minutes, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have a question. In fact, take a look, see where we are right now. Oh, my God, we are so not going to have Dear Meathead. Maureen writes, good morning, Ruben and Joanne. How do you feel about pierced noses? Just wondering. That's a great question because he will go off on that. Maureen is actually thinking about getting her nose pierced. And everybody is telling Maureen no. Now, I think it would be great. I would love it. I kind of like pierced noses on chicks. Well, on dudes too, but only because it makes them look like badasses. And chicks, when a chick has a pierced nose, that tells me that she's like into anal and a little dirty. Of course, of age. You know me, man. 50 and older. So at that point, if Maureen gets a pierced nose, I will think that she's into anal. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. All right. If you're enjoying the show via Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, I'm going to kick you out and encourage you to head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/ericzaneslive. And watch the show there. Create a little username, follow the page, subscribe to the page. Thank you. Twitch.tv/ericzaneslive. If you want the audio on demand, the audio podcast, it is available wherever you download shows. Just search Eric Zane Show Podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. All right. In addition, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you ever want to send me an email, I would love to hear from you on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Ryan writes, and if you're listening with kids in the car on the Twitch app, you've got about 5 seconds. Ryan writes, Dear Meathead, how long should you let kids believe in Santa Claus? Do you just let it naturally end? What did you do? I wonder if he'll even remember that.